Alpha. Alpha. Alright, Assalamualaikum everyone. Okay, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are doing good during this time. I know that nowadays we can move around, we can cross state, we can do a lot of shootings, bird shooting here and there. But again, the most important part I want to share with you guys is that make sure that you guys wear masks and bring your sanitizer everywhere you go and always wash your hand. And when you went back home, please take a shower, and then after that only you can do your own stuff, right? Okay, my name is Shaiful Baker, and today I'm with Nur Ismail for the sharing session. Actually, this is Nur Ismail YouTube account, where now we're going to do a little bit different approach, where like every time when we do in Zoom or Microsoft Team or in any other platform, sometimes you guys cannot see back what are the things that have been shared with our Alpha Guru, right? So that is why today I'm using YouTube Live. I'm using Nur Ismail YouTube Live, so that he and everyone who listened, who joined this live session will be happy. All right, Adam, hi, Chef Baker, hi. All right, so today, no, it's not training today. Today workshop or sharing is basically about Nur Ismail's journey into bird photography. And as you know, that some of you, or most of you might know that Nur Ismail is not really having a bird photography background. He is a landscape shooter. To me, like very good, very good landscape shooter. But one time he kind of interested to go into bird photography, and it's quite surprised he have this kind of interest. And one good things about his transition, I would say not transition, he's into bird photography. It's not that hard actually, and this is where he will share his experience. How does he move? Not moving, I would say that go into bird photography. Right. So for bird photography, actually for Sony, we have a lot of gears. We have Sony A1, we have Sony A9 Mark II, we have Sony A9, and even the newly launched Sony A7 IV is going to be amazing for bird photography also. Right, that's for camera body. And for lens, yes, we have a premium lens, which is the 600mm f4, or maybe like 200 to 600mm. Yes, that is kind of like I would say quite premium. However, for those who want to start into bird photography, it's not that hard. You guys can use your own gears, whatever gear you have. Maybe you are using A7 Mark II or A7R3 or A7R Mark IV or A7 III. You guys can still use your gears, but the most important here, you need to have a tele lens. Either it's a zoom or prime, right? If you have extra budget, you can go for prime, our 600mm or our 400mm. Then if you don't have any budget, right, maybe like your budget is not so high, right, and then you can choose 200, 600, 100, 400. And in addition to that, if you guys really interested into bird photography, then maybe you guys can go for something very budget, which is the Sony Alpha 6600 or Alpha 6400, and pair it with SEL 7350G lens. That is also a useful lens for birding. Actually, birding, in the beginning, you might think that those long lens gonna help a lot, right? But the most important part actually your knowledge into bird photography, your knowledge how to capture the bird photo, where to find the birds. That is the most important part. Even though you have a very expensive gears, but you don't know how to find the bird, you're not gonna get a bird photo also, right? Okay, so without further ado, let me invite Noor Ismail into the camera, into our session today. Yes. All right, Noor Ismail. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hey.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, fine.
I know that now you are not in KL. Where are you right now?
Okay. I'm in Fraser's Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's in Fraser's Hill. All right. So, and today I heard that he managed to get his lifer. So what is lifer? Lifer is a term where we call it a bird that some person or some photographer that never took a photo of it, and then for the first time he managed to get a photo of the birds. This is what we call a lifer. Okay, so maybe like I will pass the session to you, right? So you ready? Okay, now all right, now I pass the session to you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Very good evening to all. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. This sharing. This is my first time sharing on YouTube. Actually, I'm quite honored and blessed. Thank you, SONY Malaysia, for arranging this. Okay. A bit about myself, which I will cover later on also. I'm based in KL. I've started doing landscape photography since 2012. And after a while, I tried to find something different to do, to add to my portfolio. And I started this bird photography 2 years ago in Fraser's Hill. There was an event organized by SONY as well. So I will do my sharing based on my journey. How I moved from landscape photography to bird photography. Okay, let me share my.
All right. Sorry, Ismail, I forgot to mention few things. Right. Number one is that I would like to say thank you to Osaki from Kuantan who organizing this workshop, and for everyone information for those who stay in Pahang, maybe nearby to Kuantan or maybe a bit to Terengganu, we gonna have SONY Malaysia will provide birding gears at Osaki, Kuantan. So you guys can go to Osaki starting tomorrow, and so Sunday we're gonna have A1, we're gonna have 600mm f4, we're gonna have 400mm f2.8. So you guys can try out the cameras, you guys can try out the gears, to try how does it feel. But trust me, if you never try A1 and 600 or 400 before, you guys gonna be seriously, be poisoned a lot by those gears. Those gears are, focusing very, very fast, instantly focusing, tracking non-stop, and the image quality coming from that gears A1 and also the 600mm f4 or maybe 400mm 2.8 is going to be amaze you. All right. So I think without further ado, I would like to pass the session for Noor Ismail to do to start his sharing session for today. All right, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Hold on. Okay. Can you see my screen? There. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Just some agenda to my presentation. I will cover some. I think I've covered my introduction just now. I will cover also my journey into birding photography, and then the gear that I've used, some birding tips and settings. And then I will be sharing my images, and then at the end we'll open up for Q&A. Okay, I've run through all this just now. Just to add, I have the Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia in photography. Also a product ambassador for Nisi filters as well as Leopoto tripods. And I do workshops as well as photography trips, overseas. Okay. Some of the works that I've done, yeah, you can see I've done some interior work, some cityscape, traveling photography, landscape, yeah, and lastly architecture as well as birding lah. Yeah, birding is the last one that I've embarked into. I also do night astrophotography. Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. After doing landscape for like good 7 years, yeah. There are, of course, there are challenges in landscape photography. Normally, we are going for the sunrise and sunset. Yeah, so it coincides with our subuh prayer as well as Maghrib prayer. So yeah, after a while, it gets a bit uncomfortable for those times. Yeah, and then the short blue hour as well as golden hour, particularly in Malaysia, kat equator kan. And then the areas of shooting, because I'm from KL, I love to do a lot of cityscapes. But most of the cityscapes, especially at the rooftops, they're more and more getting more restricted to go, so not able to go anymore. And then weather, yeah, weather, nothing much we can do, yeah, just have based on our luck, yeah, basically. And then the traveling restriction now with COVID-19, yeah. And what really turned me off was the sky replacement software. We spend money to go overseas, and then somebody can just change whatever background that they want. So yeah, that really turned me off a bit on landscape. But going overseas, I will still go. Yeah. Okay. Some of the images that I've captured, yeah, through my photography trips. Okay, we have the top left is the Diamond Beach in Iceland. The top right is Moraki Boulders in New Zealand, near Dunedin. Slightly under is in Iceland, the Aurora. And then at the bottom left was Mount Cook. Yeah, it's actually Mount Cook at one of the location for photographing this mountain. Yeah, and at the center bottom is Milford Sound. Yeah, at sunset. And last but not least is Mount Bromo in Indonesia, yeah, East Java. Why bird photography? Why not portrait? Why not street? Yeah. To me, I like bird photography because it gives me that, I know that the satisfaction is just, normally I cannot explain in words, we get to capture birds with beautiful colors and all that. And the challenge is to capture a really good photo, You can see the black-backed kingfisher there, yeah. And then most of the time, we go to the forest to photograph the birds. Now, of course, you can also go into your city parks and all that. But yeah, I love to go to the forest, because that's my forest therapy. I get to relieve myself of all the work pressures. Yeah, and then the thrill, the thrill of hunting. In fact, this morning, we were hunting the red-headed trogon in Fraser's Hill. Yeah, it's just intriguing. Yeah. And then off late also the cost of entry, into bird photography with the zoom lens, which are extremely good zoom lens, yeah, at affordable price. And yeah, I get to discover new friends, from my landscape friends, and now I got some birding friends also. And the more birds that you collect, you become a collector. So now I collect, I count, the number of lifers I have. Currently, number is at 325. I just got one this morning. Yeah. Okay. Now, how do I make the transition? Yeah. Okay. There'll be slight lag on the slides here. Okay. Actually, both landscape and bird photography they can coexist because you can use the same camera bodies. Yeah. To do birding. The only difference is the lens, as Saiful mentioned just now. When you want to do birding, then you need slightly longer reach, like 100, 400, 100 to 400 GM or the 200, 600 G lens, or the two primes, the 600 as well as 400 GM. Because I'm still working, so I do my birding over the weekend, or maybe I take leave like Friday, or I take Monday off extra, yeah, to have 3 days 2 nights over the weekend. One thing you need to do is practice. You can practice with the normal birds, your normal myna, the pipit, the tree sparrow. Just practice, you get better. And then go out with seasoned birders, those that has done birding for many years. So coming from landscape, it's not difficult to really understand the exposure triangle, yeah, because to me it really helps also into birding photography. And composition is also a key, yeah. You can, whatever that you have learned in landscape photography, you can make full use of it in bird photography. Yeah, you're looking at rules of thirds, yeah, symmetric, horizontal symmetry, and then you can make use of negative spaces, yeah, which is the image, yeah, that the bird that you need. You can create like a space where either you have to put letterings, yeah, greetings and whatnot. Yeah. Practice with common birds, and then practice makes perfect, and try to capture that that special moment for the bird, yeah, if you can, yeah. So it's actually a patience, perseverance, practice, plus you need the passion. If you don't have the passion, it's quite tough to really go far into birding photography. The gears that I've used, okay, okay. Okay, the slide that has the gray and buff woodpecker there. I'm the one in blue color. All the gear that I'm using now, yeah, that I have now, which is the Sony A1. I've used the A9 II as well as A9, and then likewise the A7R4 and A7R3. Those are the two landscape cameras that I use, yeah. And then I have the 200 to 600 G lens, yeah, superb lens. It's a foolproof, you can't get wrong with this lens. It's really a good buy. I've bought the 100 400 last time, but because I need that additional 200 reach, I sold it off and then get the 200 to 600. Once in a while, I get to use the 600 GM as well as the 400 GM, yeah, on loan from Sony Malaysia. I have the 1.4 teleconverter. 2.0 I've used last time, but now I just use the 1.4. Yeah. And then last but not least, it's the bridge camera, Cybershot RX10 Mark IV. I'm still waiting for the new Mark V. Yeah. This one has a range equivalent to 600 so which is good. If I want to travel with, I don't want to bring a lot of gears. This is the camera that I bring. Just quickly on sharing my experience on A1. The AF improvements is just leaps and bounds. From the previous A9, A9 II, yeah, as well as the A7Rs, and plus A1 has the bird IAF, which I really use a lot. Yeah, 50 megapixel gives me a lot of space for me to crop, the images, which is one thing I love to do, especially in bird photography, because I can arrange the composition the way I want it. Speed 30 frames per second. Yeah, if you want to capture the bird in flights and whatnot, yeah, this is really comes in handy. The menu system, and then the CF Express Type A cards, which clears the buffer quite fast. Yeah, it's like having three cameras in one. Yeah, the ISO performance is great. Video is great. Now I just shoot video at 8K, and then I would crop it to 4K for my YouTube uploads and all that, which is still it's so sharp at that 8K. Okay. Yeah, these are all the zoom as well as the prime lens. Yeah. Okay. The teleconverters, 1.4 and 2.0, and then the CyberShot RX 10. I use the remote, the wireless remote, yeah, which I would recommend. Don't buy those cheap ones, because I bought it. I bought it and not using it because it doesn't really work. So yeah, the RMT P1BT is an excellent Bluetooth remote, yeah, for the camera. Or you can use the wired one. Shotgun mic, the ECM B1M is excellent. Yeah, and then I use the red dot side, just to pinpoint easily on the location of the subject. I have the two tripods from New Photo, yeah, as well as the gimbal and fluid head. Okay, let me run through some tips. Okay, whether this has come up on the screen. This is the what I recommend, if you are starting out, to get a field guide book. Yeah, Birds of Malaysia, which covers the birds from Malaysia, Borneo, as well as Singapore. Yeah, excellent book. Yeah? Jeff Davidson, Chong Liam Puan, and Kim Chai Lim. Yeah, the authors. The images are excellent. There's also some QR code which you can scan. Yeah, it gives you also the definition in Bahasa Malaysia. So, and then the alternate names. Yeah, to the birds, which is great. It helps me a lot. Yeah? You can buy this from the links editions. Just some quickly, which I think I can review back on the YouTube channel. The parts of the birds, yeah, the birds anatomy. Sometimes we like, for instance, this morning I shot the red-headed trogon. Yeah, so it's actually the head is red. Yeah, so that's why they call it red-headed trogon. Sometimes it's ruby cheek sunbird, so that there's a color on the side, on the cheek. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, tips. You can do your research in terms of the birding locations from the websites, but the best is go with somebody who has been there before. Yeah, so you don't like grappling in the dark lah. Yeah, at least somebody there to guide you. Okay, check the weather before going. But again, sometimes weather forecast like this today, model forecast is going to rain in Frasers, but it was beautiful the whole day. Okay, alhamdulillah. All right, proper clothing. Yeah, if you go to highlands and you need to bundle up, you don't want to get sick because it's cold weather, especially in the morning. Yeah, bring some insect repellents or leech sock if you go in the forest. Okay, and then if you are birding for like long hours, bring a seat. Those portable seats. Yeah, the small portable ones, not the heavy ones. The one that you can put in your backpack. And then yeah, don't forget your tripod, your remote shutter release, as well as rain cover. Rain cover is essential, especially when you're going during the rainy season. Yeah, and yeah, last but not least, clean your camera sensor, because You don't want those dust spots to spoil your images. Okay, yeah, as mentioned just now, bring along a good guidebook. Go out early in the morning. Yeah, like now the sunrise is very close to 7 o'clock. Go out slightly early, say 6:45. Yeah, the light is there already. It's bright enough for you to go around. And yeah, if you have to set up a hide, yeah, go a bit earlier. Yeah, understand the subject. Yeah, get close to the subject, but you cannot quickly, just kelang kabut go and patch out your tripod, and the bird will fly off. So you have to approach slowly. Yeah. Um, yeah. Take time to compose your shot. Sometimes when you take your first shot, it's the sky at the background. So you get the silhouette kind of thing. Move around so that you have a tree at the back, so that you have a green background to the bird. Yeah, which is yeah, which in fact my 12-year-old son also, when he takes a photo, he said, "Oh, no good background. I need to shift a bit. So yeah, he understands the importance of it. And observe the good birding etiquette at all times. Yeah, because we want to enjoy birding. We don't want to fight. We don't want to argue with people. So yeah, everybody has to play their part. Yeah, respect each other's space. When people are shooting, we cannot just go in front of them, put our tripod and shoot. We take cognizance of whoever is around us. Reduce disturbance, please lah. Sometimes when you go birding, we want to be quiet, and these people are laughing lah, chatting lah, laughing, walk. I mean, it's not that nice lah, yeah, to other people. And then be mindful, when you use your bird call. Use your bird call, how do I say it? Not excessively, yeah. You didn't blast out the calls so many times, and then everybody start calling. You got 2-3 people calling also, yeah. So it's not good. I think it's going to freak out the birds, and yeah, it's not going to help. Okay. Wear neutral clothing. When I say neutral clothing, you look at the photo there, everybody is on camo type. So yeah, as much as possible, we want to blend with the surrounding. Yeah, depends on where we go. Yeah. And then yeah, don't litter around. Yeah, be respectful to the rare and endangered species. There are a lot of species that are already in the near threatened, endangered, critically endangered. Yeah, so when you're when you're approaching those kind of species, take extra care. Yeah, yeah. Keep your voices down. I just need a sip. Mind your space. There are no trespassing. Okay. Normally, there's a fencing. Say that don't trespass. Don't lah. Because sometimes the enforcement will come, whatever, and then sometimes that the border is in private property. So yeah, please be careful. Yeah, we don't want to go not trespassing. Yeah, and then be polite to other birders. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Mm. Yes. Yes. Okay. I use A9 and then A92. Okay, and those are 24 megapixel cameras, and most of the time I would crop using the crop mode, yeah, which is only 10 megapixel. And you can see my images, they're still sharp. I'm happy. Yeah. Of course now I use A1. Of course I get that additional megapixel, 21 megapixel at crop mode, but at 10 megapixel it's still decent. Yeah. So yeah, I hope I answer your question. It's enough. Yeah. I can show the examples later on. Okay, some of the settings. I think I will skip this to to this. Yeah. Normally my camera is set up for bird in flight. Yeah. So the maximum burst. Yeah. I do a lossless, compressed raw, and then the frame per second. Yeah, I go maximum. Now I can do 30. Yeah, depending on situation, whether I do need the 30 or not. If I don't, 20 is good enough. Yeah. Shutter speed. Yeah, for bird in flight. That is to freeze the motion. Yeah. ISO. I I've shot up to 12,800. Yeah, and the images are still quite decent. Yeah, there are post processing that we need to do. Yeah. Focus mode, EFC, and then for focus area, I use wide zone and center fix. Yeah, for bird, and then either one lah, not all together. Either one, I just toggle it, each one of them. Drive mode, continuous high or high plus. Metering mode multi, the white balance auto, and then the bird AF lah. Once you have a camera with bird eye AF, just enable it. And then the optical steady shot, yeah, on panning, I will turn it on. For fast shutter, I leave it off. For static birds, normally I program the recall, custom recall button. Yeah. So I think there's a good tutorial by Mark Gaylor on this, yeah, which you can browse on the YouTube. For this, I have a totally separate setting, yeah, lossless, compress, and then sometimes I change to uncompress, yeah, for static birds, yeah, whenever I toggle the recall. Aperture mode, yeah, and then single shot. The aperture also wide. Shutter speed, or at the very least 1/250. ISO I still maintain at that, yeah. For focus area, zone, center fix, tracking, expand, flexible spot. That I think I've used it a lot, and that really helps in this the static bird, burung batu kind of thing. And then the spot auto, yeah, and on for handheld, off when I'm on tripod, yeah. So you can take a scan of that, yeah, yeah. Mm.
Okay, so the question is coming from no Razmi. Azmi. What is the difference shooting a
Hi.
bird with 200 600 millimeter prime, and also there's a third party lens here from Sigma. So if you ignore the camera body, so that is the question. So what's the difference between 200 600 and also using a third party lens?
Okay. First and foremost, 200 to 600, it gives you that flexibility. There are instances where your 600 is just too close. Yeah, you cannot shoot. Yeah, you cannot get a good composition. So I was shooting the Ferruginous partridge in Bukit Tinggi. Yeah, I have to step back a bit in order to get a good shot. Where the rest is just, they just can stay in front and shoot at the short turning. Okay, in terms of if you're comparing the Sigma and Sony, I've not used the Sigma, so I wouldn't know how it performs. But to maximize the frame rate, yeah, for the later Sony bodies, yeah. On the Sony bodies, you will get the maximum frame rate. If say for 20 or 30 frame per second, you will get it. But if you on third party, the maximum you can go, I think, up to 15. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 15 frame per second, which is still decent. But you can have extra with Sony body in and the 200 600 lens. I hope I answered your question. Okay. Now let's start sharing the images. Okay. Okay, this is the Silver 8 Messiah. Last time I was using, this was during the Sony event, yeah, July 2019. This is when I started, bird photography seriously. And yeah, this was shot at 560. I'm using the 1.4 TC at the time. And look at the ISO. ISO normally I tak kedekut lah. Yeah. Yeah, when I need it, I use it. Yeah, if I need high, in order to get the high shutter speed, yeah, I would. This one mula-mula belajar dulu, so you tengok the setting pun kelang kabut jugalah. Yeah, when I first do the bird photography, at that time I want to freeze everything. So actually, when the bird perch like that on the rock apa ke, you can actually 1/200 pun 1/400 pun dah good enough. Yeah. Okay. This one also dekat Fraser's Hill, the Fire Tufted Barbet. Okay. This one just practicing dekat Putrajaya. This was at the Putrajaya Wetlands, precinct 16. Okay, you can see when I shot this, it was on my A7R3, yeah, my landscape, and then I upgraded to A7R4. And you can see with 61 megapixel and crop at 28 megapixel, it's just superb. The detail is just superb. Yeah, of course this bird was not that skittish at that time. I think the distance, about 20 feet or maybe less. Yeah, so yeah, you can get it a full frame at APS-C mode. This one, okay, this one the ISO was 800, dah belajar sikit, so kita ni lah, we try to ni, and then the lighting was good also, and the bird doesn't move that much lah. It's that the head normally up and down, yeah. So yeah, 1/30. This one, blended broadbill, same place in Chongkak, Hulu Langat, yeah. Yeah, this one I bump up the ISO to 1.6 because it's quite dark, even though there's a highlight there, but generally the area was quite dark.
Okay. We have another question, Ismail. Right. Yeah. So from Adam Hai, so he said that, do you use any noise reduction and sharpening software for your bird photo?
Yes. I use for noise. I use the DxO Pure Raw. Yeah. It's actually a raw processing software. And then I use the Topaz Sharpen AI. I've not used the denoise, Topaz denoise. Once I've changed to using DxO Pure Raw. I'm still planning to do one session, once sharing on how to use the apps. Yeah. This was taken in Taipei, Bukit Larut, ISO 3002. You can have a look at it. The details are still there, but the noise are gone. Okay. Same place, they interchange. One time this guy come, and then the next another bird comes. Yeah. So yeah, I will just put the mealworms and they will come alternately. Okay. So normally I would set the aperture to whatever the widest aperture, and then for light I would adjust the ISO, yeah, either up or down. Yeah. So if I got a good decent enough shutter speed, I will reduce the ISO. Yeah. That's another shot. A7R4 crop mode. Excellent details, yeah, of this bird. Nampak macam batu lah, but tak duduk diam juga lah. This bird, yeah, it's 1/40 second. This is the Rudi Kingfisher. It was taken in Sungai Dangga, again with my A7R4. So yeah, I managed to get a 1/8 second, yeah, which is quite slow lah for a Kingfisher, but yeah, he was sitting still at that time. Yeah, aperture f9, and then ISO at 1006. This was taken in Serdang, UPM Serdang. I think the place is already off limits. And yeah, beautiful bouquet. Because the subject and the background is very far, so you get, even though I'm shooting at f9, yeah, I can still get that smooth bouquet.
Okay, another question from Black
Yeah.
Isis.
Yep.
Isis. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Hi, Sifu. I have
Okay.
questions. I'm in a dilemma to upgrade my lens to Prime 600
Okay.
or to upgrade my camera to A1. Unfortunately, I can only choose either one.
What body are you using?
Now I'm not sure lah. It doesn't mention. I think like maybe different body, but now it's either to buy lens 600 millimeter or the camera A1. If you ask me, I will go for 600 millimeter. 100% confirm.
Yes. 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 Sebab because now that I heard that the A74 is going to have a bird IF, I think. So yeah. So
Yeah, I
why
do have.
you only need that yeah. Well, you need A1. If you want to do sports, you want to do lah, bird and fly and all that. But generally, if you do the birding, I think the A74 is going to come in real handy. Yeah. Okay, so that answers your question. Get the Prime. Okay, now, all right. This is the Kingfisher. This is a favorite spot in Longkang in Melawati. Yeah. This was shot at 800 APS-C. Yeah. On A7 Alpha.
Yeah, Black Isis already replied. He
1/50.
said that he's using A9 Mark II with 200 600. Yes, I will go for 600 millimeter.
Okay, so yes. Go for 600. Yeah. A92 is an excellent camera. Excellent camera. I use it for, I think, almost a year. I think, yeah, before the A1 came out. This was in Sabah, yeah, Kinabalu Park. Okay, this is the only place in Malaysia you can get this bird, yeah, or maybe in the world, yeah. This is at Kinabalu Park. White-head trogon is endemic there. Beautiful bird. Yeah. This one, even though the 200 to 600, I shot at 420. That's how close the bird is, yeah, to us. This one was taken in Ulu Klang with A9. I upgraded lah, yeah, for my birding purpose. So I've upgraded to A9. So yeah, I've used A9, and this was at 24 megapixel. Yeah, I think this was shot at crop mode. I think most of my shots are crop mode, and I would apply sharpening, and I would resize back to 24 megapixel using Topaz gigapixel AI. Yeah, I met this fella this morning. Yeah, but I think now it's a bit more skittish, not that last time. But yeah, this is the Rufus Sprout flycatcher. It's you can get it at Fraser's Hill. Yeah. This one also, yeah, it was quite spotting this morning. The red-headed trogon male. Male has a red head, yeah, where the female has more brown color to it. Yeah. So this was shot at A9 with A9 crop mode. Yeah, I did not use the teleconverter, but I use crop mode. So time is 1.4. Yeah. Now this one is back in Taiping. I've used the A9 II. Yeah. This even though 200 600, I shot this at 540. That's how close this thing is. Yeah. ISO, I pump it up to 6004 because it was early in the morning. At 6004, so I get 1/15 only. Yeah, shutter speed. So yeah, At 6004, I can still get a lot of details. I can still manage to control the noise. Yeah. But 892 has a good noise control. Yeah, I love it for that. This is the first collared kingfisher, female. Yeah, the only time I get it. Yeah. This was at Panti Forest Bird Sanctuary in Johor. I think this was shot at crop mode, and then using the teleconverter, so effectively it's about 1002 mm. And I cropped some more in post-processing because the bird was so far. You can see there's a lot of details that can be salvaged. This is the orange-bellied flower pecker. Again, the tracking on A92 is just superb because this bird doesn't sit still. Moves all the time. Okay.
All right, so Ismail, there's another questions from Adam.
Okay.
Do you use flash?
Okay.
And would you recommend?
No, never. Never. Okay. I've seen a lot of people, in the field taking bird photograph with flash. Don't do that, lah. Don't do that. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Huh? I think you're going to freak out the bird. You're going to freak out the birds, and then you're going to disturb other people as well. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. Now that's me. Yeah. If you ask me, I wouldn't recommend. Yeah. And I don't know how much help will it give you, because now Photoshop, you just pull the slider, the shadow slider, voila, you get your image already. No need to use flash. Okay. Okay. This is you look at all my photographs. They are not all like, terang macam ni, bright like this. Of course, you do it, put it in Photoshop, and play around with the sliders. The highlight as well as the shadow sliders. That's how most of the time I do it. Okay, this 1/13, ISO 400, because the lighting was good. Oh, this was very close, and I used the TC on the 200/600, so I got a 840 punya equivalent. 840 mm, very close. Okay, and again, even with the ISO at 6004, I can only manage to get 1/10. Yeah, that's how dark the place was.
All right, hold on, Ismail. We have another questions from Priyan.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Priyan.
So his question is, what exposure mode do you use? Spot, flexible spot? It seemed to take time to adjust the spot.
I use multi. Because normally when you focus, when you use the flexible spot, whatever kan, on the focus tool, they can take the reading from there. Yeah. So that's how I set it. Most of my settings are multi, unless that separate setting that I told you about, the custom record. Then I use the spot metering. Yeah. Okay. This is the brown shrike. This one, crimson wing woodpecker. The sarang was about, I think, 5-6 feet from the ground. Yeah. So DBKL had to cordon off the area so that people don't go in. And yeah, I got this shot. I think the female feeding the chicks. Yeah. Again, this was at 3002 ISO and shutter speed, because I think I need that fast shutter speed because the head was like, going in, going out. This is, I think it was a craze last time. I think I was the first one to get it and then post it on Facebook, and then next day, people swarmed there to shoot this bird, Japanese flycatcher at Ampang, Tamunta. Yeah. Okay, this is the pygmy cupwing, yeah, which I took last time, my last visit to Fraser's Hill. Unfortunately, we were there this morning and this thing didn't show up. So probably because of the MCO, nobody came and feed them. So I think probably they go off someplace else. Okay. Another, yeah, this is the common green magpie. Yeah, quite common in Fraser's Hill, but today I've not seen one. Okay. Yeah, I was fortunate to photograph this common green magpie fighting with the Thai Peninsula pit viper, a venomous snake. Yeah, and I was about less than 20 feet away. So the bird was so preoccupied, fighting with this snake. It allowed us to shoot, some images of it. Look at it; it's at 400 mm, and I get this full. That's how close I was with the bird. This was in Bukit Tampit in Negeri Sembilan. As you can see, I've traveled a lot around to go to these birding places. This was shot at 600 mm. I didn't use the teleconverter, but it was at crop mode, 10 megapixel. And you see the detail, the kind of detail that 10 megapixel gives you. Yeah. So yeah, A92, A9 is just superb camera. Yeah. This was in Kuala Gula in Perak, yeah, near Taiping there. This was taken during rain. You can see the water droplets on the the bird's feather. They call it kingfisher. Okay, quite bright. So I reduced the ISO to 640. This was in Lanchang. Unfortunately, this place is no longer around because of, I think, was developed. I think they bulldozed the place to I don't know, to create a road plantation level. But yeah, there's no more. The Rufus collared kingfisher. This one was shot using the 600 GM lens. Yeah. So excellent, great details. Even though at this is again crop mode, shot at crop mode, 10 megapixel. You can see the kind of detail that 10 megapixel gives you. Yeah. Same. This is the diet strogan, also in Lanchang. Okay. Beautiful. I love kingfishers, strogans, and woodpeckers, yeah, and broadbills. These are my 4 favorite birds. This because of that range. Yeah, this is the problem that I had. I had to move back, because the bird was close. It came close to us. So that's Nila. If you are a place like this where it's like a stage where people where the bird comes and feed, we feed the bird and then the bird comes, and then we are behind a netting. Yeah? So sometimes 600 it gets too tight. Yeah. For you to do the composition. I wish I had my 200 600 during this time, yeah? So I can zoom out and get better composition. This was shot at Bukit Tinggi. Yeah? It was in January of this year. Okay, and then yeah, this was using the 600 GM, shot at f4. Okay. In fact, I kept my A7R3. When I upgraded my A7R4, I kept my A7R3. I sold off A7R4 to get the A9. Yeah? A9 and then A92. A7R4 is excellent. It's good, landscape wise as well as for birding, as you can see here. Yeah. It's shot in the rain. This was at Taiping Lake Garden. This one was quite close. I think the bird was about 20 feet away, the common flimback male, nesting at Bukit Kiara there. This one was a winter visitor. It flew off in March, hoping that it would come back to Tamanta this year, end of this year. Very close, it's not that skittish at all. You put the mealworms there, it will come and perch on the stump, like this. So yeah, it's, I think most of birders in Klang Valley went for this place to shoot this bird.
Rosman, there's a question from Adam again. What is your top 3 favorite birds of all time?
Birds, species, kingfishers, trogons, broadbills. Yeah. If you can add one more, woodpeckers. So I will go all out to shoot these birds. Even I have to travel far to get it. But provided there's a confirmed place. Somebody say, okay, the bird is there, then yeah, go.
It's like recently your visit when you get the black bag.
Yeah, I will share.
Yeah.
Yes, I will share later on. This is the lineated barbet, also nesting at Taman Rimba Kiara. Yeah. I think, like I said, most of the photographers, bird photographers in Klang Valley went to this place to photograph this nesting. Okay. This is my favorite woodpecker, grey and buff woodpecker. I got it at Chongkak, Sungai Chongkak, and it was under the canopy. I can still manage to get 1/200 aperture at f9. When you use DC, the minimum aperture will be f9. So you have to be careful of that. But again, now I'm not worried because I can use I can bump up my ISO, and still get decent image like this. Okay, I was part of the team who document the Hopo breeding in Taiping. So yeah, this was used as the backdrop TV3 the other day. And yeah, this was at, even though at 600, I shot this at 400. 1/2006, bird in flight. And then aperture 6.3, ISO 2005. So normally I would play, if I want to shoot a bird in flight, I will make sure that 1002 or 1006, I will adjust, keep the aperture constant, and I will adjust the ISO to match, to get that shutter speed. Another shot, I love this because of that, glowing, because the sunrise is from the back. You can see the glow of the bird. One of my favorite shots. I think this was a male or female. Cannot recall already. Flying to the nest, bring I think it was a cockroach, I think, to the chick. See the shutter speed, 1002, 1006 for bird and flight. Because this bird, it doesn't really fly that fast, compared to like kingfishers or, the small birds. So yeah, 1/1002, 1006 is good. Yeah, this was at 1006. This was shot using the A1. Yeah. So this was shot using the A1. Yeah. The beauty of it, when you shoot at A1 with the A1, you get a 30 frame per second. You can choose which frame you want, to process it. Yeah. So yeah, I chose this one. Yeah. I've got another one where the bug is, almost entering the mouth. Yeah, this is another shot. This was shot using the 600 GM handheld. Yeah. Again, you need to have slight muscle, yeah, to handle, because yeah, it's heavy. It's a heavy lens. It's 3 kilos, yeah, but not as heavy as some of the competitors. Yeah. So I think it's the lightest 600 prime. Okay, yeah, this one is taking the centipede, yeah, to bring the centipede back to the nest. This one, yeah, the shutter speed, I bump it up to 1/2000, just to freeze the motion. Oh yeah, another thing, bird in flight, go to, like Kuala Selangor, Kuala Sepetang, or Langkawi, so eagle feeding, yeah, yeah. This is a good practice, if you love bird in flight and you want to practice, go to these places. They would feed the eagle, yeah, throw the chicken, I think, some meat apa semua, throw it in the water, and then all the birds will come and grab the meat, yeah. So yeah, some of the shots that I took, which I I just love the detail. This is at I think it was crop, yeah, 21 megapixel. There's another shot of it, yeah, the Brahmini kite. Yeah, this one, the shutter speed was 1/10,000, because I kept the ISO 2006 and at f 6.3. Yeah. Okay. This one, I shot this at Ulu Klang. Yeah. Again, 840 mm. I was using the 600 GM with the 1.4 TC. Excuse me. This was quite recent. I think this was sometime last week or week before. It was a craze now. Everybody wants to go to Sungai Long now to photograph this banded kingfisher. This is a male banded kingfisher, blue color, yeah, very nice, beautiful. This, I think the distance was about 30 feet. Yeah, so I was about 30 feet from the bird, and it was under canopy. So the shutter speed is low, yeah, 1/15. At that time, my ISO was still at 1006. Another shot of it. Yeah. Beautiful bird, beautiful bird. Yeah. I just love kingfishers. Any kingfishers will do. That's a female, yeah? Female banded. So, okay. You can see the detail of it. A9, the eyes, it's just superb, it just locks on the eye. And then you get, at 21 megapixel, you get all those details, a lot of details that you can get. Okay, this one was shot recently in Batu Kawan in Pulau Pinang. Yeah, and this is the bronze wing jacana. Also, I think a craze now. People go up to photograph this bird. Yeah. Normally, if you check on the guidebook, they say that the bird will be in Perlis, north, yeah, close to Thailand. But somehow or other, it made journey down, and I think it stayed there, breeding already. Yeah. Okay. Another shot of it. So it's beautiful bird because of that bronze color wing. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, this was the photograph, the kingfisher that Saiful was talking about. Is the black-backed kingfisher. Personally, I think this is the most beautiful kingfisher, if not most beautiful bird in Malaysia. Yeah. You have like so many colors. You can look at it. Pink ada, orange ada, yellow ada, black, you know, everything. The color of the rim, I think green aja tak ada. But yeah, it's a superb bird. Subject and the subject and the background is far, so I get Disney at 6.3. Yeah, but it's not my shutter speed because of the canopy. Yeah, I don't want to bump up the ISO. I see tengok 1/6 is still okay. Yeah, the bird doesn't move that much, so okay. Yeah. Of course, at 1.6, I got some blur images as well. Yeah, so this one thing there were a few young sharp. Okay, another shot of it. Check out the detail of it. Yeah, and this one, I think this was full frame, 600. Okay, beautiful bird, beautiful bird. Same bird at different location. Again, you can see the lighting. I have to bump up the ISO to 4000. I was near to this bird. Yeah, so I had to reduce. Slightly reduce the focal length to 500. Yeah. Another shot of it.
Right. There's another question from Adam. Okay, the question is, do you have any tips to prepare for bird photography competition?
Frankly, I've not entered into one. Tips, I think I would now I've done some stock photo and something stock photo. The thing is they want a sharp image, sharp from the tip of the beak to the tip of the tail, Of course, if you have like artistic punya composition where maybe you focus on the head saja ke, but generally they want sharpness. So yeah, my tip is get your shutter speed correct. Yeah, and then noise. Yeah. For stock photo, they you have your noise. If your photo are noisy, they just reject it outright. So noise and shutter speed, those are the two that you have to. So if you have a prime, of course it helps a bit lah. Yeah, that you can reduce the ISO. Yeah.
To me, the most important part for you to join any competition, you must answer the questions. That's the most important things. Yeah, if the competition asks you to do A, you must do A. So don't do B. If you don't do B, you do B, you will not be selected.
Betul. Yeah. Another shot of it. This was quite far. This was, it's with, inside the canopy, and then it was flying out. So yeah, I cropped this thing. Normally when I shoot at 21 megapixel, yeah, I think about 5,000 over 2,000 plus. Yeah, I would crop half. Yeah, do my post processing. Yeah, and then I bring it back to gigapixel. Resize it back to 24 megapixel, 6 by 4, 6,000 by 4,000. Yeah, another 5 minutes. Okay, quickly, the black bag. This is my favorite view of it. Another shot with the cricket. Yeah, this was this morning. Collared outlet, my lifer number 325. Beautiful bird, and I was glad to manage to capture it with the pose that I want. This is the the pose that I've been looking for most birds. Yeah, view from the back, and then the head would turn facing you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just share a bit some birding experience using RX10. Yeah. You can see in the photo the keluar. Okay. Now the camera has been used by my son. He's 12. He follows me to for birding. Now because nak exam, so dia tak ni lah. Dia tak ikut lah today. But generally he will follow, and you can see he can handle it very well. This one is not shot by him. I shot this. This is the grey and buff. Yeah, and you can still add. You can see get quite fair bit of detail. Yeah, from this camera. This was shot by him in Fraser's Hill. Very near. Yeah, the bird was very near. Yeah, he got this as well in Taiping. This is a long-tailed parakeet. And yeah, this was his shot. He was next to me, but yeah, because he can zoom the lens and zoom out. It's you get a better composition. Yeah. Okay, ISO at 6004. Okay, that's it. Q&A. I think we have done some Q&A already. Let me just share my page. You can take a screenshot of this. Yeah, my website, Flickr, YouTube channel, Facebook, email, as well as Instagram. They are all there. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Any further questions?
Thank you very much. There's another question. Why my camera freeze? I'm not sure why my camera freeze. Yeah.
Freeze.
I don't know why. Why is it my camera freeze suddenly out of nowhere? It's charging at the same times. But never mind. Maybe put it to you. Okay. So so the question is from Black. Do dot sight helps in bird in flight perch?
Bird in flight.
Yeah, dot sight.
Normally bird in flight. Normally I don't use dot sight when I'm hand holding. Yeah. So normally bird in flight I handheld. I would not use it. I only use when I'm on the tripod and trying to pinpoint, locate the bird. Yeah. Because normally if bird in flight, especially when the background is the sky, it's easy to lock on. The only problem is when the bird fly in front of trees, forest, then it might have some problem locating. Yeah. Normally the bird in flight, you wait for the bird, and then for the moment for the bird wants to fly, that is the best time to capture. If you want to capture the bird while flying, if it's not with the sky background, yeah, macam dekat forest ke apa ke, it's going to be tough. Yeah, because your camera would either focus at the back, it will take time to focus. Yeah. Normally I would take my bird in shot like that, bird in flight. Wait for the bird, and then for the moment that take your chance. For the moment that the bird is gonna fly, burst speed and then shoot. Yeah, so you maintain the focus. Yeah. Or the bird in flight in up in the sky. With the sky background. So what you do is normally I would zoom back a bit, so that I get a bigger picture of it. Zoom back, lock on the bird, and then zoom in. You need some practice also lah, yeah, to familiarize with that.
Yeah, especially when you shoot with prime lens. Shooting birds in flight with prime lens is very, very challenging. You need a lot of practice for that because it's not easy. It's very hard. But again, once you get familiar with it, you should be okay. There's another question from Nas.
I shot the Hopo.
The Hopo.
Sorry. I shot the Hopo, bird in flight, the one that carrying the centipede. Because Hopo, dia punya flight dia macam ni tau. dia macam
Wavy.
itu
Yeah.
wave kan. Dia akan fly macam tu. And imagine, you nak follow, you nak track with the 600 like that. It was really a challenge, but yeah, alhamdulillah, I managed to get a few shots of it.
Yeah,
Bird and
but
fly.
again, the best thing
Yes, okay.
about it is that with for example using A1 51 megapixel, you can easily crop and still get all the details. Yeah. So another questions from Nasir.
Yes.
Hi, even with your prime, you don't
Yes.
open your aperture fully. Is it intentional?
Is it intentional? No, when I use the teleconverter, dia punya aperture akan extra. Dia akan jadi 5.6. Yeah. And sometimes when the lighting is good, I open up to f8 to get the sharper. Yeah. The sharper image. I think normally the sweet spot will be around f8. Yeah. But if I need that speed, I would reduce down to sometimes the setting, sometimes it's a mistake also that on my part I tak set up. Yeah. Whenever you're in the field, sometimes you tend to forget things. When the bird is up there, you shoot dulu. Then only you adjust.
Yeah, get a record shot.
Because if you want to adjust first, the bird should fly off.
Okay.
So whatever setting, shoot first.
There's another question from Adam. How do you normally take care of your camera gears and lenses?
How
Take
do
care
I?
of your camera gears and lenses.
Sorry? Okay. When the gears are not in use, I would put them in a dry box. So my dry box now is enough for 200 600 punya lens lah. Yeah. I bought the skin. Yeah? I put the skin on all my cameras. There's a 3M skin that you can buy. Protect the body from scratches ke apa ke. Yeah. I would do that. Blow, before you. Okay. When you keep your lens, your camera and your lens, take off. Don't put the lens on the body and put in the dry box. Normally, I would take out everything. Yeah, put the cap, lens cap, body cap, and then masuk dalam dry box. Blow dry pula. Blow the apa tu, the sensor using the apa tu, blower tu. Blow and then cap it and then keep lah. So yeah, dry box is a good investment lah. When you have invested a lot on your gears, you need to have a good dry box. Yeah. So you don't want to grow fungus on your lenses. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I mean, when you have your gears, I started out with a small 38 liter dry box. Now I have a 78 liter. So yeah, my collection has grew.
Okay. Right, nice. Okay, guys. Don't forget that tomorrow and also Sunday, Sony 600mm, Sony 400mm, then Sony A1 will be available for you to test and try at Osaki Kuantan. So you guys can go to Osaki Kuantan and try the camera and also the lens. You're gonna love it. Trust me, you're gonna love it. It's amazing. Even those who those who being familiar with zoom lens, and then when they try the prime lens, they're gonna fall in love with it very easily. It's very poisoning, but it's very, very good investment. And as for the who is that just now, Priyan, yeah. So go for 600mm. Okay, I think that is all for today.
Priyan was with me when I started birding. It was that July. He was with me.
Okay, maybe from your side, last words to the all participants.
Thank you very much for listening. I think I am not saying that I'm the best bird photographer around, but yeah, I would like to share a lot with my friends. Yeah. Like maybe one of the days I will do a YouTube on how to process my bird photos, from those high ISO images to the final product. Yeah. yeah, I will try to do that someday. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Last but not least, practice, practice, practice. Yeah. You get better. If you practice more, you get better. And you can see my first photos from when I started back in July, and the one that I took, last week or recently or today, in fact. You can see the difference. Yeah. Even though they probably partly because of the gear difference, but the thing is the style, the composition, yeah, it has improved lah. Yeah. So yeah, practice. Okay. Stay safe, everybody. Yeah. Now can cross border, but yeah, uh, take care. Stay safe. We're still not out of COVID yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Saki. Thank you, Sony. Yeah. Thank you,
All
Saiful.
right.
Yeah.
So thank you very much,
Good night.
everyone. Okay. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Alpha.